is the second largest mosque in Pakistan and South Asia and the fifth largest mosque in the world.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. Good morning, khush amdeed. Ji ayanu khuyumorkha, pakhair ragle, washmale, chunishume. Welcome to World This Morning, ladies and gentlemen, with only Shiza Hashmi today, unfortunately. Well, these were all the greetings I could recall right now, but for everyone watching right now from more than 40 different countries in the world, you are more than welcome to my show, and I really hope that right now I'm finding you in the best of your health. I hope you're safe, and I hope your loved ones are safe as well. Well, over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, of course, in many parts of the country, in Pakistan, the weather was amazing. It had been raining, or it had been drizzling even in some areas. That was just beautiful to watch as well. And for something new that I attempted over the weekend, now this one is going to be great for all the literature lovers or cinema lovers as well. I finally finished Lord of the Rings. Well, of course, I had started it and I was never a fan, but now recently I'm starting to, sort of experience all these new things as well because of the COVID-19 situation. I'm stuck at home, so everything I can think of, I'm doing. So I thought of, hey, let's sort of, continue the movies or even books that I had left, and Lord of the Rings was #1, so I did that. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I really hope all of you are fine, as I already said. Unfortunately, Shahzad Khan is not here today for the mere reason that he is a very responsible citizen and he was just feeling a little under the weather, so he stayed at home to make sure that the entire team over here at World This Morning is safe. So speaking of the pandemic again, we all know how Corona has been, taking over our lives for more than 2 months now, and it's sort of, I want to say we've sort of gotten used to it as well. This is going to be the new normal. I think we have come to terms with it. But the government of Pakistan did lift the lockdown just before Eid as well. Of course, I mean, thinking that you guys are going to be responsible. A lot of you are not doing that. Please make sure that whenever you do go in public now that the lockdown is no more, you are wearing face masks at least, and gloves, of course. Make minimum contact with people in person as well. Maintain a safe distance with people as well. It's for your own safety, and it's for the safety of the people around you too. Now, I was wondering, in fact, I was talking to my sister about it, and we were thinking, amongst the COVID-19 situation, there has to be, if you have to actually get out of a pandemic like this, mentally strong and even physically strong, you have to have a very amazing support system to get you through it. And when you come to think about it, especially in Pakistan, since we are sort of a collectivistic society, our only, or I want to say the best support system that we have is our parents, right? I mean, everything we do actually comes from our parents. All the childhood memories I have is with my sisters or, with my mom or dad. Every personality traits that I have, I've had from them. Every lessons I've learned, every morals or ethics, everything I have right now, along with my teachers, of course, I owe it to my parents. So, well, I'm talking about them because today is the 1st of June, ladies and gentlemen, and ever since 2012, the General Assembly of the United Nations officiated this day, the 1st of June, to be dedicated and to be celebrated only and only for the parents in the entire world. Yes, today is Global Parents' Day, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what we are going to be talking about in this first segment, of course, with a very special guest over here in the studio who happens to be, yes, a parent, but also an educationist and has been actually playing an amazing role in bringing about a positive change in the society, especially in COVID-19. I mean, bringing all the children of the students, especially that she is teaching, at par with the global standards of education, not making, them miss out on anything as well. She is none other than Amna Adnan, the principal of PF School Wahkent as well. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my show. Welcome back, in fact.
Thank you, Shiza.
So, Amna, first of all, I want to say Happy Global Parents' Day to you now that you're a parent, mashallah. To begin with, you being an educationist and being a parent, now these are the two roles that you cannot step out of at any moment, right? You don't have the choice. So how were you balancing that for so long, more than 2 months?
Thank you, Shiza. Thank you for having me. First of all, I would like to talk about that why this International Global Parents' Day is being celebrated over the world.
Okay.
Um of course, parents really have a key role in upbringing of their children,
Yeah.
and definitely for the society. So, since past 2 decades, it has been very important to emphasize on the role of the parents, and General Assembly in 2012 finally decided to celebrate it as a day, just
Yeah.
to appreciate the parents for their selfless commitments to their families and their children. Now, coming towards the role of the parents, obviously parents have a very important role, and especially if we talk about this COVID-19 pandemic, children are out of school, you people know, and the educationist and the educational institution, they have just a digital access towards the parents and the children, and which is very minimized. No doubt educational institutions are playing their maximum role to do their best in their humble capacities. But parents' role is very, very important, especially in this pandemic, for the emotional well-being of their children, and obviously towards the education system. So if we talk about the problems and the issues parents are having right now at their homes for their children, like children are less engaged in their
Of course,
school
I
activities.
definitely do want to get to that as well. But I mean, other than talking generally, let's talk about Amna over here, where you mentioned, about parents that they are selflessly and tirelessly working for the entire life. I want to say for the, kids, of course, they brought them in the world and they want to make sure they're having a good time, a fairly good time as well. And you, of course, were doing that, being a parent and in education. Sorry for the slip of tongue. I missed my coffee. But here's the thing. You tell me, in your own capacity, dealing with your own 4 children, and then more than 40, I want to say, your students of your own as well, every other day too. How are you coping up? Because I mean, you have to confess over here, or you have to agree to disagree, that you yourself were having sort of, I want to say, mental imbalances in terms of, because this is the first time you were even seeing a pandemic. You never saw that in your life as well.
Exactly.
So for you to be emotionally stable was the first step. How were you doing that?
First step being parent was the hope which I gave to my children.
That's beautiful.
Like I showed them the ways how they can deal with this pandemic, and I gave them the emotional support in terms of educating them, and making them realize that each and everything will pass away, and they just have to take care of their own selves, and everything has to come at an end. So this was my way. I have teens and I have a little one too. So regarding their education, obviously me and my husband, we both given them special time and coordinated with their teachers, and we accepted our roles that whatever their educational institutions are providing them, we were just helping them to sort them out, and regarding their learning resources.
Right, that's brilliant, that's brilliant. So ladies and gentlemen, if you just joined, let me just again reiterate that today we are celebrating all the parents all around the globe as well. Today happens to be International, or when I say Global Parents' Day. For all of those who are living with your parents, well, please make sure that they have an amazing day today. For all of those who unfortunately had to leave their parents to probably a palliative care center or probably old age homes as well, make sure you do visit them today at least. Make sure you write to them or call them at least. For all of those people whose parents are not alive today to share the day with them, please pray for them, bless them, and well, I really hope that you take something out of this show as well, because we always try to be helpful to you. Now, Amna, when we talk about such a massive international organization actually acknowledging and then realizing that there needs to be a day which is entirely dedicated to parents. They realize that in building a community, the major role is of a parent. When you are developing a future leader, we're talking about a child. Of course, teachers and friends do come in, but parents is everything, talking about holistic personality approach, whatnot. So you tell me how important it is for everyone to realize, first of all, this role. To realize, I understand the role, but to realize this. And then for students or for children or for, I want to say, kids like me, what should we do for the parents today?
Okay. If you talk about the role of the parents and their realization, definitely they need to realize, the children, they need to realize the role of the parents and their selfless commitments and whatever they are doing for their children, and the emotional support, the health and well-being, the care, the educational side, and especially the health and taking care of their children. So the children like you people can do a lot for the lot of things for your parents, like you can acknowledge their efforts, and you can give something they want to themselves.
Right, that's actually a very good idea as well. Now, Amna, of course, now this is not the first time you are going to be celebrating this day with your kids. Tell me what you have planned, some activity to sort of engage them in as well. And then, isn't it, I want to say that I feel like we're really lucky to be a part of the Pakistani society, because as I mentioned earlier in the show as well, we are a collectivistic culture and we do not forget our family values, right? I mean, there's no individual Shiza or individual Amna, there's always an entire family support system behind us as well. So for office or workplaces to realize that parents are not only employees of their office, but also they have a major role to, perform when they go back home. What are some of the, I want to say, family-friendly work policies that you say, yeah, we need to develop, not only in education systems, but every other institution in Pakistan?
Yes, Shiza, especially in this pandemic, now organizations and companies, they really need to develop some policies which are family friendly for the parents, especially for the working parents. Right. As this pandemic is going on and all the children, they are not attending their schools and they are less busy in their other activities. So families, family environment in the companies and organizations is a very must nowadays.
Absolutely.
So what we can do is that we can bring some campaigns, we can bring some solutions towards the companies and organization, that how can we manage our workplace and our families and our kids, and we can give enough time and emotional support to them. What I did in this pandemic, like I just stayed away my children from these negative like hype which was created in media, and especially social media, all the news which are on social media,
actually.
misinformation you can say. And definitely we have COVID patients, we have many people who are dying because of this pandemic, but end of the day, being Muslim, we have a strong faith in Allah that whatever is written in our faith, we have to
meet
counter
that fate,
meet that fate. So but why not to highlight those people who are getting better from this pandemic?
Exactly.
What are the positive lessons which we are getting from this? Like the working parents like us, we were never this much close with our children. We spent a lot of quality time with our children. We cooked a lot of delicious foods for them, which we couldn't before that pandemic, and because we were not having that much time. And especially they learned from us that how to manage things at home as well, and how to run your own organization, and how to play a responsible role in the society.
Absolutely. And that's actually really beautiful, Amna, where you said that, pandemic actually sort of gave you an opportunity to spend a lot of time with the kids as well. Now, where you said that you guys were trying out new dishes and everything, of course, there were so many new things that people have been trying out, or so many new things people have been discovering or watching or reading in this pandemic as well. Were the kids really ecstatic to have mom and dad both at home 24/7 and being able to do anything they want with them?
Yes, they were very excited, and especially we developed one very good habit in our own children. Like we started reading books. All the time. We cannot spend, like, world is already very much digitalized, especially in this pandemic. All time they have to take their online classes. Whatever they want to do, they have to do it online, and they have to face the screen. So what we did is that we started a habit of book reading in our home. Like for half an hour or more than half an hour, we just switch off all the gadgets and the Wi-Fi and whatever is the internet connections and all, and we just take whatever books we want, and we, the whole family, sit together, and we just read that book, whatever passage, 1 page, 1.5 page, whatever as possible. And after that, we just discuss it, and I encourage my children just to write about their own critical analysis about that book,
That's very
that is
interesting.
very much helping to make them engage in some positive activities, and now they have realized that books are a world. This internet and this tablets and these gadgets are not only the word.
There's a world beyond that.
Exactly, exactly.
That's actually a lot of fun to develop a new habit as well. And I think a lot of people were doing that too. But now, Amna, one very important thing I want you to sort of highlight and then explain to me as well. I understand that people who are not educationists, moms and dads, other than being educationists, who are not like Amna, was sometimes having a hard time understanding how to, deal with the digitized education system of their children. I mean, there were some parents, I'm not criticizing, I'm just pointing it out to help them. There were some parents, Amna, who I was in conversation with, and they didn't know how to probably download that app that would help their kids to study, or probably how to join a class online, or how to, help their kids study and everything. So do you have any, when I say message, or any lessons for those parents who are, let's say challenged technologically?
Yes, Shiza, that is very much important. In my own institution, 20% parents are there which even don't have an Android phone.
Okay.
And they were not able to cope up with these online resources, whatever they were. So in my humble capacity, me along with my team, what we did is that we provided them the hard copy of the resources, and we provided all the guidance on telephones, and sometimes we visited them or they visited us.
Wow.
This was what we did, but definitely parents need to know, they need to be educated that the world is far beyond now, and they have to meet with the upcoming and whatever are the required things which are going on after this pandemic. Like what we are hearing is like till 31st August there is no chance that all educational institution will be open.
Yeah, and there's still like a slight chance maybe it's going to take a year or two. We don't know.
Exactly, because we cannot take our children on that severe risk, which it's spreading very fast. So there are certain communities which really don't know that what to do with this digitalized world.
Right.
So the people like us all the influential people, what they can do is they can teach them and they can educate them how to use these gadgets and how to prioritize their needs. Like I have seen some families, they can afford these gadgets, but they have not prioritized it, and they are just spending their money on other things. But once it comes to these educational resources or these things, they just say that we cannot buy them. So we need to educate parents, and each and every person, every influential has to take this responsibility to educate the parent in best way that this is the need of the time, and they have to do it. And if they are lacking in that, their children will not be able to cope up with the upcoming life after COVID.
That's true, and that is the need of the hour as well, Amna.
Exactly.
But I want to actually take this moment to appreciate actually the hard work that you and your institution are putting in, where you mentioned that people who are not very good with digital stuff, or even apps and whatnot, you are providing them with hard copies of stuff, and you are actually giving them proper outlines of what to do. Amna, roughly speaking, what is the number of students in your institution, roughly speaking?
For early childhood, I have 674 students.
Oh, amazing. So the only reason I'm asking that is because you're not only a mother to 4 children, you're, mashallah, a mother to more than 600 children, a spiritual mother. I mean, that is such a big role that you're playing. And I want to take this moment to appreciate Amna over here and every other person like Amna in this world who's actually playing a very crucial role in shaping a new generation as well. Because while Amna, you being a mom, even if you could take out 2 minutes, which you cannot, I know, even if you could take out 2 minutes to be, let's say, tired, or 2 minutes to yourself, okay, you tell your 4 kids, "Bachcho, 2 minutes, mujhe aaram se baithne do." You cannot tell that to more than 600 students, and you were there for them 24/7. So kudos to you, hats off to you, mashallah, you guys are doing an amazing job as well. So what is the future plan? I mean, in terms of summer vacation, because students are very vague about what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure even if you don't know what exactly is going to happen, maybe you can give us some clue.
Summer vacations are not being celebrated now like they were before, because already the pace of the study is slow during this online classes. Like we before the pandemic, we were having 5 working days and sufficient working hours to teach our children, but the pace of the study is already slow. We have shortened the syllabus, so there won't be any summer break. We will just make the students in touch with their studies and provide them different resources. Like I have divided my students according to their communities. Like some are taking Google Classroom, Zoom classes, live teaching, and some are the students which are not familiar with the use of that app. They are having our video lectures. Our teachers are recording their lectures, making the videos, and parents, this is especially for the working parents, because we are running the online classes in the morning, and the working mothers, they are not able to attend their children during that class and to assist them. So for those mothers, we have recorded all the lectures in video form, and we just send their parents, and they just assist their children according to their feasible time, whatever suits them.
That's
and
brilliant.
Exactly. And some, as I earlier told you, that some are given the hard copies, and they are also provided frequent guidance, whatever we can do for them in our humble capacity to best assist them.
That's actually very nice.
I don't think that summer vacations are will be they will take any summer break. Already pace of study is slow, so it will continue. And for these children, it is important to make them busy with their learning stuff, so
and with
that they can
productive, actually.
something productive.
Right.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for actually saying that, and thank you so much, Amna, on behalf of, I want to say, for being so thoughtful on behalf of that community as well, being an educationist. Ladies and gentlemen, being, today we are observing the International Parents' Day as well. And when we talk about parents, I mean, they are the pillars, or they are the support system, as I earlier mentioned as well, which were actually always present for you. I mean, there were days, Amna, I think you're going to agree with me, when probably there was not enough food at home. The parents would, stay hungry and pretend that they're full, but make sure that their children get to eat whatever there is present.
Exactly.
Or, there are days where they personally are having a bad day. They are not in a good mental capacity as well, but they will pretend to smile in front of their children just so they don't have a good day, bad day as well. So this is how important and how just absolutely beautiful this relationship of parents and children is. And it's just, I mean, alhamdulillah, I'm really blessed to have both my parents with me. And for all of those who do have them right now, make sure you cherish them as well. Towards the end, Amna, any message you want to give out to all the parents out there on this special day?
Yes, I would like to say, parents, that children are the best imitators, so give them something best to imitate. They are just copycats, they are just monkeys. You can just train them the way you want to. So always don't advise them something to do. Whatever you want them to be, just be that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being so insightful as well early in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking of COVID-19, of course, every other country who has been dealing with this pandemic has had a major economic hit, no matter what part of the world you belong to, even if you're first world or even third world. More than 6 million people in the entire world have been affected by this pandemic. COVID-19 is actually terrible, and I really hope it gets better soon as well. We don't know when, but we really hope so as well. Specifically talking about Pakistan, roughly around 70,868 cases have been reported. A lot of them have been recovering as well, but it's still fatal. It can be fatal, so make sure you're safe. If you stay tuned, you will find out that in the next segment, we are going to talk about how Pakistan's economy can actually take a positive turn in COVID-19 as well. Good morning. Welcome back to World This Morning, which is a Hashmi, ladies and gentlemen, where, as every other day, we're here to inform you, educate you, and learn with you. So, well, as I spoke before going on a short break as well, like every other country in the entire world, Pakistan has been, yes, hit economically by this COVID-19 too. But of course, there are certain ways where we can turn this bad hit into a positive turn as well and, you know, come back on track, maybe even better. But of course, I have to speak with some professional over here, and to speak about it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very lucky that I've actually been joined by someone who, to my interest, is for the very first Pakistani to be on the Economic and Cultural Street Forum in China as well, representing Pakistan, being there for more than 20 years and doing a lot. Of course, I'll ask him all the accolades to himself as well. He's none other than Mr. Alex Amir Ali, a business consultant. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I think I understand, but for all of the people watching right now, I want to say Alex is the name that his Chinese friends and fellows gave it to him, and Alex Amir Ali is now how we know him. So, sir, first of all, I want you to explain to us what is this Economic and Cultural Street in China that Pakistan is going to be a part of, and mashallah, you are leading that.
Yes, thank you very much. I was a lucky person that I was one of the designers for this Pakistan Culture Street, and it is located in Tianjin.
Okay.
Tianjin is a port city. It is very close to Beijing, and it's a special economic zone. It's a new development.
Right.
And China government want to initiate, like they want to bring the cultural ties closer between China and Pakistan. So they have allocated a special area for like 250 acres. In this 250 acres, the activity will not only be like a culture, but culture is a vast field.
Of course.
Like handicrafts, our traditional products, Pakistan traditional products, food and culture would be shown like from the different part of Pakistan. So it will be like a mini Pakistan, showing it to all over Chinese people, like how Pakistan looks like and what is the attitude of the Pakistan people.
Oh, that's brilliant. And I'm actually looking forward to that as well. It's going to be so interesting. I hope you get there very soon, inshallah.
Inshallah.
But now, sir, I want your sort of view, a wider perspective on how Pakistan can actually turn this massive economic hit into a better one, considering the fact that, let's say, export is closed, or trade borders, even if they were open for so many countries, the soft borders are now limited as well. Is there a silver lining that we're looking forward to?
Actually, this is a very critical question you ask, and I must say that we need to learn something from China first.
Yeah.
They have provided us a launching pad to bring our products to China.
Yeah.
And right now our exports to China is only touching like $4 billion a year, but we are importing China's like documented imports are like $20 billion more.
Yeah.
So the trade deficit is very big. If we want to narrow down this trade deficit, we have to develop something like a cultural streets. And cultural streets means you can bring the biggest brands of the Pakistan, domestic brands, over to China, and you can make it in a Chinese style. Like you have a lot of stuff, a lot of garments that you can convert it into Chinese style. And once you convert it into Chinese style, that means you will attract a lot of Chinese people.
Of course.
Of course, and that is your market. We should look at China as a consuming market, as a consumer of your products.
Right.
We have a lot of products in Pakistan that we can, even first we can sell it without value addition. But if we go with a value addition, I can assure you we can touch to the target of $30 to $40 billion a year, because it's one of the biggest consuming market in the world.
Exactly, exactly. And that's actually a very good idea as well. But, you know, so speaking about this pandemic now, while there is a lot that we need to learn from China, we were one of the, I want to say, first friends of China that actually went out to help when they were hit by the pandemic, because they were the first ones to be hit in the world. How were we responding to that?
This story, as everyone knows, that it started from Wuhan. Wuhan is the capital city of Hubei province. What in Pakistan people they pronounce is like Hubei.
Right.
It's not Hubei, it's a Hubei.
Hubei, okay.
So it started from Hubei, but as everyone suspected and everyone knows it, it started from some kind of like animals, because the Chinese, but I must say these animals the Chinese did not start to eat today, they are starting from centuries.
Exactly.
So I can only say that maybe because of these animals, the level can be, because the corona was existing. This we need to make sure. Corona is not a new disease.
Yeah.
But this what developed into corona, and it's called mole corona. It's an advanced shape of corona. So that means the particles in your blood about corona have become more stronger. That's it.
All right.
This is first point. And then Wuhan is a very famous city in China. And I must let you know that from 1926 to 27, it was one small brief year when it was considered to be the capital of China.
Okay.
It's a beautiful country. It's famous for its universities and educational background.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why when they start to talk, they just talk about the students, everybody was just talking about the students, because the students from not only from Pakistan but from all over the world, they came over to Wuhan for their higher studies. So that is why everywhere they were not talking about traders or businessmen or whatever, they were talking about students.
Absolutely. So also do let us know about the Pakistani students who were, I want to say, apparently stranded over there, because the Pakistani Awam was actually, criticizing the government a lot in the earlier stages of pandemic, that why are you not bringing back our brothers?
Okay, that's a very good question. Actually, I must tell you like that. In the beginning, the Pakistan government was very active to bring back their students.
Right.
The first mistake our students are making once they go for studies over China, they have a very clear line in their embassy website. They need to register their names.
Right.
They need to register themselves that we are in that particular area of China and we are into this field and we are studying what. They have all their parameters and but what mistake the Pakistani students made? First, they didn't register themselves with the Pakistan embassy. So in the beginning, Pakistan embassy was finding it very hard to access them. But they were working, I must say, because something is very witnessed about it, that Pakistan embassy really worked for like 24/7 for their students. And their point was not to rescue them. The countries who rescued their students like Italy,
right,
and Spain and Germany, you see that these are the countries, even America, they rescued their students. Canada, they were the early rescuers for their students. But finally what happened? This corona broke out in their countries also. That means the Chinese government was very smart. They were behaving very good. They were keeping the Pakistan students, not only Pakistan students, all the students very isolated. And I must let you know that not only the Pakistan government, but the Chinese government also took a big initiative to take care of the Pakistan students. Like they were making an announcement, this is not a Pakistan people, this is our Chinese people, this is our brotherly people. So it is our responsibility to take care of them and don't bring them back.
That's nice.
This initiative was first sent by the by the Chinese government. They said, please don't bring them back. You will make a mistake if you will bring them back. So the right way is not. And when they kept them in isolated, I can assure you something. They even bring them the halal food for them.
That's nice.
They supported them in a monetary system. They supported them morally. They isolated them in a very nice place, and then it was not same as with the other countries. This really treated Pakistan community very special. And at the same time, Pakistan embassy was very crazy going on with Pakistan embassy was very crazy going on with the system. Like they wanted to assist their Pakistan students. They tried to contact them again and again, and even it was a very serious epidemic, and Pakistan embassy delegation was already there in Wuhan, and they were there in a personal meetings. But here is another thing I want to highlight to you. Like that time, some students they were making some social media videos or like that. Oh, Pakistan embassy is not responding, but that is a lie.
Okay.
Totally a lie.
Okay.
Because Pakistan embassy had a helpline for 24/7, and they really worked like more than 20 hours a day. And there was, during this epidemic time, there was not even any holiday, social holiday or a public holiday. No, everybody was very concerned. Pakistan government was very concerned, and Pakistan embassy was very concerned. So I must say they did not make a mistake in the beginning, but now you see, like, if the people start coming on, I can't blame it from coming from which direction of the world.
Right.
But that mix-up of the people, that generated a lot of problem for epidemics.
I know. I really hope that, but Amir Sahib, speaking about this whole situation, since I mentioned earlier in the show as well, this was the first time the entire world was dealing with this pandemic, right? We didn't know how to go about it, which is why a lot of people might have made mistakes as well. And where you mentioned that Pakistani students were sort of blaming the embassy, I think there was sort of a communication gap. While they were like very, I want to say, eager to get back to their families as well, like you mentioned, they probably didn't know that the embassies were looking for them, or probably, I want to say, targeting them to actually get them back as well. So there was a minor communication gap. I really hope that we know how to go about it in the future. God forbid we have to face a similar situation. But now, Mr. Alex Amir Ali, we were talking about, China, Pakistan, their friendship. Pakistanis were, when Chinese went totally out of face masks or, gloves and whatnot initially in the pandemic, Pakistanis, of course, went out to help them. And in return, till date, we are receiving help with the Chinese in terms of information sharing about this pandemic. What is the latest information that we have, or what are the lessons that we're still learning from Chinese to go about it? Let us know in the light of, well, the economic situation of the country.
Yes, if we consider in the light of economy, sure, not only we are going to be affected, but China is already deeply affected, and still many parts of China, they are isolated. They have restricted their peoples, like the education system is still stopped. Even many government departments are not working. So this will definitely be, but Chinese economy is very big, it's huge. They have the power to feed their population, but
or let's say they have the ability to take such a hit at least.
They have the ability, but unfortunately, we don't have that ability. But something we need to learn from China.
Yeah.
They have such a huge population, but how did they control epidemic? This is one question. How did they make it? The first thing they did is that isolation. From the beginning till end, they isolated their peoples. They bring them in their compounds, in their dormitories, and even they provided them food, everything at their home.
Okay.
So that was the first step. I think we should learn from them. If
so
you have
just
to control
probably a yes or no question, do you think lifting the lockdown was a good decision?
Well,
because you said we have to learn from China in isolation,
right?
Well,
on economical point of view, I should not suggest it, yes, but on the social and on the public security point of view, definitely we should. Otherwise you just see like the government, they just give a little relaxation, and this epidemic that tolls are jumping up. So I think we should be a little careful about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. The government is definitely thinking about us. We need to be responsible in return as well. But Mr. Alex, since we left with very little time, I want you to actually sort of let us know. So, can I call you? Actually, I am going to take the pleasure and call you the cultural ambassador between Pakistan and China as well. Since you are going to be heading a team, I am giving you that title, let's just say that. So today happens to be World Parents' Day. I want you to let me know, what is the family structure in China? I mean, what is the role of parents? Are they like us, or are they more westernized, individualistic?
No, they're totally not westernized. They are very proud to be. They always say that we are the Eastern society. We are very traditional. We are very conventional, and they're very proud of it.
That's nice.
And they also mention something they relate with their moral duties, they relate it with their societies, like especially for the Parents' Day, I should highlight 2 points to you.
Yeah.
Since that China got a one-child policy for like 42, 43 years, but in 42, 43 years, they got one child. But they did an excellent thing to upbring their single child. It's not only for academic education, but they bring up with them with a lot of knowledge, a lot of other cultural education, music, and this kind of activities. So they turn out their one baby into a very useful baby. This is the first good thing I learned from them, although it is a very big decision to get only one child. And now even they have a permission for 2 children, but still they want to, if you ask the youth, they said, we want to have one baby, but that one baby must be
an all-rounder.
Yeah, it's like a very responsible citizen. And their children, they love their parents, and their parents, they love their children, not only with the children, but also with the grandparents.
Right.
I must say, like, they not only care for the parents, they also care for the grandparents.
That's very sweet.
And in the same time, for this day's reference, I want to tell you something. It's about Ming Festival.
Oh yeah, let me know about that.
Chinese society have a Ming Festival, and this Ming Festivals is always on the first week of April.
Okay.
They celebrate this festival like a religious festival or a moral festival. I cannot say many things about religious, because mostly is a moral festival, because they are 2,000 kilometers or 3,000 kilometers away from their hometown, but they will go back to their hometown, and they will go to their tombs of their elderly peoples who died already, and they will clean the tombs. They will put some flowers, some fragrance, something like that.
That's nice.
So that means they have a very conviction with their elderly peoples, with their society.
Such a strong connection.
Very strong connection. So I must say, like, they disappreciate the Western styles. Like, they don't have any concept for the old homes.
Which is actually brilliant.
Yeah, they don't want to have any concept for the old homes. And the people, like, not only going to care for the parents, but they also go for the grandparents, and also like the relatives of their parents, taking them like their own very close relatives.
Right, right.
So the family structure in China is still very strong.
And that's really nice. And maybe those are one of the things that we can learn from China as well, being so close friends. But thank you so much, Mr. Alex Amir Ali, for being here. Thank you so much for enlightening me about all these facts as well. And I actually learned a lot about Chinese culture too.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Hope to have you back again. Ladies and gentlemen, today happens to be the World Parents' Day. And throughout the show, I think we have been making some pertinent points about how you need to value them, how you need to respect them, love them, and especially take today out to cherish them and, spend a good moment with them. Even if they are alive or not, make sure that you pray for them, make sure you go out to spend your time with them as well. And whatever you do for them, do share your ideas with me, because I want to learn what my audiences are doing too. Share with me on our Facebook page with the name of World This Morning. You can find us on Twitter with the name of World This Morning without a G. On YouTube with the name of PTV World, and then of course you can look for World This Morning. And if you have missed this show, it's okay. You can catch the repeat at 11 p.m. tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Till the next time, take care. Good morning.